Yeah, we will. And here we go. We are live. All right. I'm excited. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. It is Glenn Hausman here, and I am back after taking a little time off. And boy, am I happy that I had that time off. I really needed to rest and relax and go catch some concerts from these guys over there. I can't do this opposite thing. There, boom! Right there. All right, that's a mess. All right, thank you guys for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun doing this LinkedIn Live thing. This is pretty exciting stuff on my end of stuff to be able to do this with you. And the first thing I want to do is wish everybody a happy and successful 2020. I know I'm really excited about the opportunities and the possibilities of things to come. It's kind of like that slate has now been cleaned off, and we can be anything that we want to be. And speaking about people who want to become something else, let's bring in our guest for today, the one and the only Mr. Craig Sullivan, who's recently reinvented himself not only as a mogul behind the California Lodging Investment Conference coming this March 5th to Orange County, but also the host and ever-tightening competition to me, Glenn Hausman, with his 3x10 Checkout California show. Mr. Craig Sullivan, how are you, sir?
Good morning and Happy New Year, my friend. Good to see you, Glenn.
Hey, absolutely great to see you, Craig. I want to thank everybody for jumping in on this LinkedIn Live with us. This is a little bit impromptu, a little bit unplanned, but I started to panic, Craig, that I hadn't been doing enough of these because I was in super lazy mode over the holiday break. And I said, hey, let's just go ahead and do it. So thanks for being available and jumping on with me today.
Oh, my pleasure. You know what? I think this addition of LinkedIn Live to your repertoire has been a great addition.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch. You know, we've got some other people that are doing it as well in the hotel sector.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a great facet to catch these live conversations and pick up a little tidbit here and there, and and you get to introduce some really great guests, and like you do with all your shows.
I know. Let me know when I have a great guest on. But for now, we'll just talk.
You just have me.
Yeah, I would like everybody out there again. Happy New Year's greetings to everyone. Please leave your comments and stuff like that. I guess it's over there. I got to figure this directional thing out. It's all the opposite, and I can't figure out how to work. He went that way, right?
That way.
So if you want to make a comment, make a comment. We are a little bit on a time delay here, so it could take 20 to 30 seconds to a minute for me to respond to all of those things up there, especially because I know Craig's going to have so many insightful things to say that I won't be able to cut him off immediately. So, Craig, you are the California lodging guru out there, and me as a New Yorker over here, I am as far away from your California lodging market as you can possibly be here, I think, in the continental United States. How's life over there in California? How's hotel business in California? And how... Well, no, don't tell me about the weather because that'll just piss me off. Tell me about everything else. Look at you. Look at the sun in the background, the smile on your face. This is very stressful.
Yeah. I had to close the drapes because there's just too much sunshine coming in. So, state of the California hotel market's great. I mean, we've had some recent closings down here, big numbers. The Montage in Beverly Hills sold for over $2 million a key.
That's insane.
It's. We had another resort here in Orange County that closed not too long ago, probably $1.7 million, $1.9 million-ish range.
It seems great. I don't mean to cut you off, but I think this is really important to discuss. This whole idea of these resorts and other these properties selling for so much money. I'm seeing it here in New York as well, and a lot of other big markets. I mean, obviously, these people are making the investment thinking they can make money on it, and for some reason, it's less than the cost of replacement. But what the hell's going on here? It's an insane amount of money for a room.
Well, it is, but you look at California, and it's a very unique market.
Right.
Okay, and if you look at Southern California, the greater LA, Orange County, San Diego, Ventura, Inland Empire. Okay, we've got two of every professional sport.
Right.
Football, soccer, baseball, hockey, basketball. Then you throw in the colleges, SC, UCLA, Pepperdine. So we've got everything covered there. Mm-hmm. You could be surfing in the morning and snow skiing right now in the afternoon in our mountains because they've got a nice coating of powder. So you've got all that. And then you've got some really difficult building restraints in this state. Mm-hmm. You look at the Montage in Laguna Beach. That was 20 years in development. Okay. By the time they get done with all the lawsuits, the Coastal Commission, and everything else, it was 20 years. One of my favorite resorts in California, and I always refer to it as the last resort, is Terranea. That was another one. 20 years in development.
Wow.
And then what happens? They break ground. They go to have their first draw from their construction loan. And the world as we knew it at the time came to an end. Okay. Their bank was one of the first ones to go out in the financial meltdown.
Oops.
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I understand the price for these, assets,
right.
But you also look at, some of the tertiary markets, and I got a call yesterday from a client that I worked with for a number of years, and he's going, I'm in the middle of trying to review this hotel, and the sales price is $30 million, and it's about 110 key Holiday Inn with a food and beverage component. So it's not your express or select service. It's a full service Holiday Inn, meeting space, the whole 9 yards. The seller bought it about 2 years ago for $15 million. And again, this is in a tertiary market.
Right.
So, it's, the numbers are crazy.
All right. So I think the numbers are crazy, but I do think, and also everyone should know, Craig does do a lot of consulting with companies behind the scenes, which is why he knows all of this great stuff that's out there. But one of the things that I find interesting, Craig, is that there is so much red tape in California.
I lost you.
All right. Can you hear me now? Hello, Craig.
Hello.
I guess he cannot hear me. This sucks. Try again, dude. Uh-oh.
No sound.
Uh-oh. Well, while Craig is dealing with his issues, I will continue trying to figure out what to do. Let me just write him a note here. All right. Can you hear me now? Nope, he cannot hear me now. Good stuff. Okay, so while we're waiting for Craig, I think the interesting thing for me to think about is, I think now I hear him. Can you hear me? Because I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? I've
got no sound, Glenn.
All right, well, I can hear Craig. Maybe there's something going on with his things. All right, this is why live is so much fun. So we never know what's going to happen. But meanwhile, what I do think that what Craig is trying to say, and what this points out to me, is that there's so much red tape that's going on in California that it becomes really difficult in order to build something new. So maybe to expedite that transaction, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are out there, audience, to expedite that transaction.
Now, there we go.
All right, so I'm just saying, perhaps because with the red tape that's out there, Craig, it might adversely it's not adverse to people selling it, but it may artificially inflate the price of a hotel sale, because it's a lot easier for people just to formulate into the figure, oh, we don't have to deal with 20 years of nuttiness and dealing with boards and paying lawyers $500 an hour after hour after hour. Let's just buy something already existing, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big part of it. And, it's, you look at Orange County and let's exclude the Anaheim resort area.
Right.
Okay, because that's a different animal.
Yeah.
That's all about Disneyland and the convention center. You look at the rest of Orange County, whether it's Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Irvine, you've got a ton of select service product in there that are all running great numbers right now. Farther away from the coast you are, the easier is to build in most cases. Some of the issues, especially when I'm sitting in on town hall meetings with city council, it's, they're always pushing for the big fat full service hotel.
Right.
And, it's like, no,
well,
really.
Those feel good though, right?
They
and for
feel
somebody
great.
not in the hospitality industry who aren't building hotels for a living, they may not understand that that's probably not the best way to go unless there's a a whole list of criteria and checkpoint and checks made off there, right?
Exactly. You know, if you're down the street from Warner Brothers or Universal Studios
Right.
or the Walt Disney Company, different story. Yeah, you need a full service hotel.
Right.
Now, most cases, and you and I, you know, we spend a good percentage of the year traveling and in and out of hotels and airports. Okay, so we see service levels a little bit different than the average consumer. You know, we're more on the inside looking out and watching all of those experiences. So, you know, you can dress up a select service hotel. Look at some of the hotels down in the gas lamp area, the newer Moxie down there that Azul Hospitality runs. It's beautiful. They did a great job on it. It was the first ground up Moxie in California.
Right. That's the one we hung out in that speakeasy, right? We got it was closed, but you know, everyone knows somebody, blah, blah, blah. And we got a little tour of this room in the back, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, you know, those are the things that, you know, really come to mind that you should be doing. And, you know, what does a full service hotel do better than anything else? It separates you from your money from the moment you get out of the car.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Now, if I'm on the city council, I want a select service hotel. The reason being is it's more of a good neighbor because it does spread that money out on the street. Okay.
I see.
Full service hotel or the resort, it implodes and keeps you there and takes everything.
Right.
So, you know, if I've got, you know, a couple of select services hotels that have, you know, limited food and beverage, maybe a hip, cool little, you know, rooftop bar. Okay, great. But still the shopping and everything else and restaurants in the area are all going to have a surge in their business if they're any good. So, you know, and plus just economics of running a select service hotel are vastly different than a full service and certainly a destination resort.
We certainly understand all of that as hospitality industry professionals or even folks that are still at the beginning of their career here in the hotel business. But Craig, when you're sitting at all these meetings, I got to ask you, the typical town councils, they're probably not very studied in the hotel business, right? That's not their thing.
No,
so what is it like trying to get them to understand the reality versus what their preconceived notions and perceptions are when you guys walk into the room to try to promote a particular project?
Well, you know, that's where part of your due diligence really has to come in. You know, you've got your team that's going to help you with the entitlement process. They're certainly familiar with the city. They've worked with the city council and planning department and everything else. And then I like to take things a little bit farther and have a public relations advocate, somebody who goes in there on a stealth mission and figures out, you know, who is going to be the possible, you know, leader of the pack that's going to try and make this project Frankenstein's monster, and they're going to be leading the villagers with pitchforks and torches, so that you can try and get around that. I worked with some really talented people. We were up in the wine country, and we were able to convert a compound into a hotel without a lawsuit being filed. And it was really just because of the team that was involved. And they knew it; they had it down. So, you know,
I think what's really sad to me, Craig, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said they were able to get it done without a lawsuit being filed. That to me tells me that there's a lot of legal issues sometimes when it comes to putting in some of these hotels because, again, people don't necessarily understand what the economic drivers are for their neighborhood.
They don't, and you know, we're all living in areas that are changing, and sometimes that's a bit of an issue with the community, especially a bedroom community. You look at, Newport Beach, where I live. Okay, we haven't had a new hotel in this city for decades until Bob Olson built the Lido House. Now, Bob's a local.
I was about to say he's a local. He probably was able to break through where others were unable to.
Exactly. And, you know, at the time when he bought the site, that was the old City Hall site. So that sale was helping to fund the new City Hall. And, you know, Bob being a local, having the experience, having Marriott behind him, you know, having lenders behind him and everything else. And his initial concepts and his PR campaign before, you know, while they were still in the due diligence process. This is what we could have. And it's a jewel. It's a new standard for hospitality, here in Newport Beach. And, on the flip side, I've got another client that's got a piece of dirt here on the Back Bay that they probably about 10 years now into the development cycle trying to get this thing off the ground.
That's crazy. For it to be held up for so long, it's almost as if the jurisdictions don't understand the need to have this economic development, which will add to their tax rolls, not just from the money that the hotel itself is paying, but all the patrons that are in there paying occupancy tax, that are out eating in the restaurants, that are out buying stuff in the stores. So, and this is what I love about this LinkedIn Live format, because I had no idea when I hit the start broadcast button that this is the topic we would start to talk about, right? But now I'm curious, Craig, because as we're going down into the rabbit hole here, maybe you could give us some advice on how you could best get the folks that are making the rules within the community, get them on your side, get them to understand, get them to really want to approve the hotel with as few problems as possible.
Part of it is, I think you've got to explain to not only the city council and the various people that you have to deal with within the city, but the community has to understand that this is a benefit. This is a plus. This helps keep your real estate taxes down.
Right.
Okay. A lot of cities.
Interesting.
Okay. The cities get to keep the TOT. Okay.
Yep.
That's not a split like the real estate taxes are here that goes to the city, the county, and the state. Okay. So the TOTs are all kept. So what that helps with is now the city doesn't have to bump up their portion of the tax for police, fire, emergency medical, garbage.
Right.
Okay? Those things are now negated and paid for in most cases by the Transient Occupancy Tax. And you can give them the economic formula on how much they're going to receive annually after stabilization of the asset. And then they start thinking, okay, well, their eyes get real big, and it's like, okay, great, but you've got to really sell it. That's where an advocate comes in and really helps you understand the community and the area that you're trying to build in. You've been out here a lot. You'll be back out here in January and in March. When we're in Irvine, you're going to be surprised this time when you're out here. There are so many new condos and more actually luxury apartments being built than anything else, because we've got these regulations now in the state of California with housing, because we've got such a crunch on that going. So, city of Newport Beach, city of Irvine, they've rezoned areas so that now that they can meet those housing requirements within the state. So that's also playing another big part of it.
So it sounds like there's kind of an available land grab going on too, which might increase the cost of hotel development in certain pockets within the state of California.
Absolutely. If you look at San Francisco, they're not making any more real estate up there. Okay,
right? They really should start doing that, because it's a very popular place.
Something. Dredge out some of the harbor. Infill it. They can reclaim some of it. I don't know, but there again, there's a vertical market where. Kind of like the Wilshire corridor on West LA. You see all those condos and apartments are another vertical market. The gas lamp in San Diego, San Francisco, obviously, all vertical markets. So, but the vast majority of the state is still a horizontal market. So you've got to take that into consideration. Yeah, it's not New York, it's not Miami or Chicago. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Where are the places that you think have the most opportunity available? And if I know that you are dabbling in investment yourself, so if you don't want to share your big secrets, just give me the bird, and I'll know to move on to another topic.
There's some interesting things coming up. City of Los Angeles, which is a lot larger than most people think.
Right.
It's just not downtown, East LA, West LA. It's also most of the San Fernando Valley and various other parts of the county.
Right.
I'm basically kind of staying clear of that area. So I'm going to start off with the negative and then end up with the positive.
Right.
We've got over 1,000 new rooms in the development pipeline just in the city of Los Angeles. Our friends over at Lodging Econometrics, and Bruce is always sharing data, and it's just astounding the number of development deals that are in the pipeline right now. Now, I think a lot of those, fair percentage, is probably going to fall through the cracks, but there's going to be a lot of them built.
Right.
I'm not seeing any resorts. And again, Terranea, the last resort. I'm not going to see another resort like that in my lifetime, certainly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that piece of land was just so unusual that something that was such a jewel like that came up. I believe it was like a maritime center or something like that. At one point, some sort of amusement parky water thing.
It was SeaWorld before there was a SeaWorld.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it was marine.
I was trying to be too fancy by saying maritime center.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely you're right. And where else are you going to see giant swaths of land that are become available for an all new purpose, such as a resort, right? So over time, it becomes more and more difficult to find those kind of spaces. But what about in the Anaheim area? It seems. And, the few times I've driven by there in the last couple of years, they seem to always find land there. I don't know how they do it. You were joking around about they're not making any more land, but it seems like they are, because I believe they built a new Westin in a little hidden alleyway of Anaheim, it seems, right?
They did, yeah.
It's like, where's all this coming from? It's like, I had no idea there was all this land that wasn't there, but is there, but wasn't really there.
Well, it was part of that invisibility factor.
Yeah,
that it was some sort of light industrial. Maybe had a restaurant pad out in front that floundered and went away. We've got some friends of ours that are building a JW Marriott that'll be open, I think, next year.
Yeah.
That was put on top of a parking structure at a retail center down the street from the main gate.
Fantastic.
So there are things coming. The city is selling off Anaheim Stadium and the dirt to the owner of the Angels. So there's already a couple of apartment complexes being developed there. I'm waiting for some hotels to come in there.
There was a talk of that being the next big destination creation of an entertainment center, maybe with monorail connecting the Disneyland Resort area with that area. But I suspect that part won't happen.
Yeah, I think if Disney would have stepped up and bought it, and I'll probably get a ton of bad comments about this, but the Angels very easily could have moved to, say, Irvine.
Right.
Okay.
Because they're already building a stadium over there for the football. Yeah.
Pull that stadium out and do the entertainment, do training camp, do a whole complex for the Angels or something else there. Disney could have put in 5 or 6 other hotels in there and done the monorail to the main gate, and the tax revenue would have more than made up for any concerts or anything else that may have been lost.
Right.
But there are some hidden gems out there. I did a recent posting on both Facebook and on LinkedIn to an area which will remain nameless right now because I want you to find the posting in San Diego that has an entertainment development coming in. And I think there's some opportunities still in San Diego. I think there's still some opportunities. You look at local companies like Pacifica and what they've done in the Central Coast.
Yep.
I think there's opportunities there. Small boutique application. When I was over at Broughton Hotels, we did a hotel up in Northern California. You and I were there for the grand opening
in Menlo Park. That was great.
Yeah, 61 keys, beautiful hotel.
Yeah, that hotel really annoyed me because I only got to stay there for about 12 hours. It seemed so freaking cool, and I really loved that room that it really pissed me off that I had to leave.
Yeah.
And I hold a hotel at fault, not my schedule.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was the hotel's fault. They should have twisted your arm and made you stay another 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that place was good. And for everybody watching out there, we went to the opening night reception that they had, and I had a chance to eat a tiny little slider that I thought was one of the best sliders that I ever had.
Yeah.
And then we found out that it was one of those fake meat burgers, right?
Made out of beets.
Yeah, right. And I'm not going to say the name of the company. Number one, I forgot. Number two, if they want, they could advertise with us. But
Well, yeah, they should
but
advertise with
I was
both
really
of us,
blown
yeah.
away by how freaking good that was. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But I do like talking about food a lot. Great hotel, great concept. Really had a good time. We actually speak to Larry, and by we, I mean me, on the Hotel Design Podcast. Go check that out if you want to hear all about that particular hotel, all about hotel development in boutique properties throughout the California area. But back to you, Craig. You've got a big event coming up March 5th, California Lodging Investment Conference. What do you think are the big issues that people are going to be talking about? You know, it's the beginning of 2020. What are people thinking?
Well, this is going to be our 4th annual one. And Glenn, you've been there from the beginning, and I thank you very much for all of your help and support. I think financing is going to, is playing a bigger part in the development side, especially, if you're only getting a loan at, 50% of cost, how are you filling that gap? I think opportunity zones are playing in. That's part of your panel. Fortunate enough to have Glenn kick off our conference, and he does our hotel investment and panel. And this year it'll be hotel investment and opportunity zones. So you've got an all-star group on that, and I think you're gonna get some great information there. We've increased our brand panel to 7. We started out with 4. Now we've got
you are
7
crushing
people
it.
on that.
It has been so much fun to watch this event develop from the first year when it was just an idea into something now all the major hotel companies are really rallying behind here. And for those of you that you don't realize, California is not just the 5th largest economy in the world, but it has, outside China and New York as a whole, the most development of any place in the world. So
that's right. We're number 3 globally for hotel development. Yeah, you're right. We're only behind China and the rest of the continental United States.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So this is a particular conference. You can learn more about them at cliconference.com, being held on March 5th in Orange County. Man, I really sound like I'm promoting the heck out of this thing, but I just think it's such a great event, and it's such a fun format to be able to learn about one market instead of being hyper generalized about everything.
Yeah. And that was it. I came back from the lodging conference, 4 years ago. And, at the time we had the 6th largest global economy. And I said, we're treated like a sidebar.
Right.
And I sat down with our friends, Larry Broughton and Alan Ray first. And then I went and talked to Jim Butler, and JMBM's been a big sponsor of the conference as well. And, we were off to the races. And, every year we add something. We're adding more networking time this year. We've added some new panelists. We've got some new topics. We still have a lender panel. We've got some new people coming into the lender panel. And, the one thing about the lender panel that I think is imperative is that these are all companies that are making hotel loans. They're not just talking about hotel loans. They're actually doing them.
And they want to do deals. Right. I mean, that's their job, is to try to get out and ferret out great deals for them. So it's a great opportunity for you to meet the people that can make your dreams happen.
Exactly. And then, we end the conference with our overview panel, which is, we've made some changes to that as well. Jackie Collins moderates that, from Gallagher Insurance, and she does a great job. She understands the market here. She, it's a very great way to end our conference. And then we have our VIP mixer, and we raffled off $25,000 worth of gift prizes last year, and a couple of free drinks. So we have about an 80% retention for that. So
that's pretty good. I definitely like drinks, and that's the only time you'll hear sidebar again in this conversation. The bars are on the sides, on either side. Just go and get yourself a cocktail, get involved in that raffle. So I'm excited for the California Lodging Investment Conference again on March 5th. It should be a lot of fun. Other than Bruce Ford being there, what are you most excited about for the conference?
I got to say you, Glenn. You're the one that, Bruce gives them a lot of great information. He's the one of our 2 keynotes. And then as they're mulling over all that data that Bruce gave them and that shock and awe,
Right.
You bring them out of the shock and awe and get them involved. And,
Yep.
and then we're off to the races at that point. So, I'm really looking forward to not only your panel, but also the brand panel this year. We've got Hyatt joined us this year.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about, having them participating along with Marriott and Choice and Red Roof and Wyndham and Best Western. I think we've got a diversity to our brand panel that nobody else has, because these are basically the franchise people. They're boots on the ground here in California. They're the development guys and women that you want to meet. So, we're really looking forward to this panel, and I think every year we get a little bit better. Every year we add something new. So there's going to be an announcement later that day on something new that we're going to be adding. And hopefully we'll be lucky enough to get you back out here. I
think I know what you're. I was about to say. I think I know what you're talking about. Something that you would tease that you were thinking about doing last year, but it looks like 2020 is the year it's going to happen.
Exactly.
I'm excited about that, but more so, let's take a look back. 2020, I know is going to be great. What was the highlight for you of 2019? Perhaps it was one of the great interviews you did at Checkout California 3x10, where you ask guests 3 questions over 10 minutes for video segments that you guys out there can find all around the internet.
I got to tell you, launching 3x10 Partners last year, and we've got 2 shows. We've got Partner Channel OC, which one of my partners, Andrew Lopez, hosts. We just completed season 3 of that show. And then we've done 2 seasons for Checkout California 3x10, where that's a show that we're taking across California. It's a road trip. We're doing hotels, restaurants, sports and entertainment venues. Couple 3 interviews followed by a tour. And I got to tell you, probably the one that was the most fun was, and the hotels have all been great for a lot of different reasons, but the one that comes to mind first was the interviews and the tour of the Bank of California Stadium for the Los Angeles Football Club. And I got to tell you, I've gotten so deep into soccer now. It is unbelievable. I'm having so much fun with it. That stadium was done right. It set a new bar. And I know because the Rams play at the Coliseum, which is next door right now, or they did. They just wrapped their final game there.
So the new stadium opens next fall, right?
Yeah. So
let's not diverge down that way, but please continue.
But the Rams were over there looking at it. Corning did all the fiber optics. Everything is on your phone. It's amazing. And the vice president that took me on the tour, Christian, was saying everything he said was a hospitality term. It was about the guest experience. It was about the connectivity, and I actually told him that in the interview. I said, you're sounding like one of my hotel guys. So, but everything can be done right off your phone. And they're even, they bridged their POS to clear security, because it used to be you put your order in there, and if you're going to go pick it up, they couldn't pour any alcohol beverages or beer or wine until they saw your ID. So if you're in clear, they've bridged that, they've checked that, and then they ping you and they tell you that it's all ready for pickup.
Beautiful. I love that.
So,
I was at Madison Square Garden a few nights this week, and supposedly they had a clear access to it, and I could not find it because I thought I'd be able to skip the line of all those suckers out there, but no, I was caught behind thousands of people.
Now, I think, for a hidden gem, went to the Padre Hotel in Bakersfield, California. This hotel dates back to 1928. A great little company, hotel ownership and management group called Eat, Drink, Sleep acquired it. I'm not going to tell you how much they put into it, but they actually lowered the room count, made larger rooms. They've got 5 food and beverage outlets within this hip, chic, cool boutique hotel in downtown Bakersfield. Best meal I've had in California in at least the past 2 years was at that hotel.
What?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Everything is farm to table. If you look at Bakersfield, it's not just oil. It is cattle and it is farming.
Right.
So everything. Best sourdough bread I've had in California was not San Francisco. It was Bakersfield. So yeah, the desserts, everything. And we sat down and attacked their cheese cart. My two partners, Quentin and Andrew, and I.
Yep.
And we had their director of food and beverage sit down. He paired everything.
Beautiful.
With craft cocktails, with wines, with everything, and went through the entire story of their fine dining experience at the Padre Hotel. And it was just amazing. And I got to tell you, it's definitely a hidden jewel. And the history in this hotel, Eat, Drink, Sleep is the third owner. The second owner bought it in the 60s, and he was just the local town character, constantly fighting with City Hall.
Right.
He was hanging signs off the side of the hotel that faced City Hall, calling the mayor a communist in the 60s. Okay? Yeah, it did get any worse than that. Well, it did. He had a fake rocket built. He had it craned up to the roof, and he had it pointed at City Hall.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, so there's some little nods as you walk around the hotel to that owner. And he had gambling in there at one time. He had all kinds of things going on. So it was just these backstories and things that I'm finding out. And you know this, and I love California, born and raised here. And, you know, I support the hospitality, travel, and tourism sectors, you know, as much as I possibly can. And just to create 3x10 Partners with Quentin and Andrew, it was great. And we're getting ready for season 4 of Partner Channel OC, season 3 of Check Out California 3x10. And then we drag Quentin, he's our man behind the scenes. He's our editor. He does all the color corrections, the sound, everything. Well, we put the camera on him, and we introduced a segment to Check Out California 3x10 called What's Around. And Quentin walks through 3 or 4 different things that are within walking distance of the hotel. Just something off the beaten path.
Right.
You know, we found a restaurant in San Diego when we were at the Hilton down there in the gas lamp that does the best potato bacon pizza you've ever had. So when we're in San Diego, you and I are going there.
I've never had potato bacon pizza, but now it's on my list for the next time I get down there, which I'll be in town, of course, for California Lodging Investment Conference. It's March 5th coming up. Find them at cliconference.com. And how can we find you, Craig, for 3x10?
Well, you can if you want to be on the show, you can contact me at info@3x10partners.com. And we'd love to schedule a tour and interviews of your hotel, restaurant, or sports and entertainment venue here in California. And then for the conference, you can reach me at craig@cliconference.com. And because you're a viewer, and Glenn twisted my arm before the show, use Glenn's promo code of Glenn, GLENN, and you get a 20% discount on your registration for the conference.
And thank you so much for respecting that my name has 2 N's as opposed to our friends out there. Yes. Offended all of you out there that refuse to accept the second N. All right. So I'm really happy that we had a chance to talk today and get you on. We're going to have Craig back on as well, talk about more serious issues that are going on in the hospitality industry prior to the March 5th conference. I just wanted to make sure that we got out there. I did a little LinkedIn Live for you guys. Said hello, get the new year off in the right way. And man, oh man, any final thoughts for you? Any resolutions that you have that you plan to claim that you're going to do and then give up in 2 weeks?
No, I gave that up a long time ago.
Yep.
You know, it's just like getting married again. I gave that up a long time ago as well. So, you know, it's a new year. It's beautiful out there. It's, you know, I'm very excited. You know, Alice, I get to see you and a number of friends at Alice in January. We're putting the final touches on the 4th annual California Lodging Investment Conference. We're getting ready to fire up the shows again. So it's an exciting time right now, and I'm just trying to take it all in and smile as much as humanly possible.
Well, you are programmed to smile. There's something about your soul that you're just a much happier human being. Always love hearing your laugh. Love being around your good vibes and energy. And for everybody
remember,
else,
I'm Irish, so I can't tell a short story. So
sure. And to everybody out there, again, the days are getting longer. It's a brand new year. It's a time where we can have hope. We can have opportunity. We can get excited about all the potential that we have to be successful in the coming year. I hope that you've all taken some time and you've thought about what goals that you would like to achieve this year. Maybe write them down on a piece of paper and create that path of success. One thing that I've learned over time is don't look at that big goal that you're wanting to do. Think about all the small tactics, all the little bits of strategy that you can get there to do one step at a time. It might take 10 steps. It might take 100 steps. It might take 500, but each little one is bite-sized and achievable. And before you know it, you're going to get to where you want to be. Because after all, if you aren't doing it, then time is going to pass anyway. You might as well get off your butt and go out there and achieve. Now that you do that advice, I feel like I want to get back into a coma for all of 2020. I'm tired from all the holiday cheer, Craig.
Yeah, all in moderation, my friend.
Yeah, right. All in moderation. But fortunately, that's my favorite saying is everything in moderation, including moderation. So I followed the last part of that statement very much so over the holiday break. And remember, guys, you are vibrating with love and light.
There you go.
And you've only got one life, so blaze on. Craig Sullivan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, my friend. Good to see you.
I want to thank all of you guys for watching another episode of LinkedIn Live. I'm really looking forward to doing a lot more this year. We're going to have a lot more fun with this LinkedIn Live format as I continue to figure it out, as I continue to develop it, as we continue to create more of a community here at the No Vacancy Podcast. Find us at NoVacancyNews.com. Follow us on LinkedIn. Like us on Facebook. Why do all these companies have to have different phrases for all these things? I can't keep track of it anymore. Download all of our podcasts. Okay, guys, we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
That was funny.